Hey guys, this is a video about Protege version 3.0, which includes historic data. This could be a long video, so I'm gonna start backward. Means I'm gonna start with the latest updates and go backward to the previous updates. So if you are familiar with many of those updates, you can just watch the beginning as much as you need. I know you guys are busy. All right, so this is version 3.0. You upload the file, um, and if you are using also 5-minute chart or a different chart, you can upload it on the second chart, and that's what you typically see. The latest updates manage your historic data, which means it keeps track of your day, yesterday, the weekly, and the monthly. Actually, it keeps track of the annual. It's just not displayed here, and it will display that for you. This is your current active trades. If you have active trades, that's where they are. Now, let's say that you started, if you did not key anything, when you load the file and you open the input file template, if you left that at 0, it will read your balances at that time, and that's where it starts with. If you key in numbers, values in here, it will take those values and overwrite what you had. So let's say the original balance, this is a demo that started with $5,000, and let's say that I'm not gonna change yesterday or today's balance or last week. Let's say last week or the weekly. Let's say I started at 5,000 on the weekly and the monthly, and actually let me do the weekly as a little bit different. Let's say I'm gonna do 49.50 just for the sake of exercise. So I changed the numbers. I did not change these two numbers, the day and yesterday, and I'm going to load. Now before I load, I'm gonna change it on the M1 chart. It should copy to the M5 chart and any other charts you may have open, like if you had the hourly and stuff like that. It might take a minute to do that. It probably takes a minute maximum to do that, but it should. So I'm gonna update this. Now this has updated, so monthly and weekly, they're different because I have keyed in information. However, that today and yesterday is still at 0 because I did not overwrite. This one should technically, hopefully, read and update itself. We'll just wait a minute in the meantime. Where are these files? How does it do that? It does that by storing the data, historic data, in files, and these files are right here. Let me see, go where the files are. If you open the data file, data folder, okay, you see this has updated. It took it about a minute, and it's done intentional because I don't want, if you have more than one chart, I don't want all of them to be reading or writing on the same file at the same time. So there is an intentional delay between one chart and another. to hopefully, make sure that it's successful. Um, if you open your MQL4 folder and you open files, and there they are. These are the files that have been written for the data. This is a generic file. This one is a backup of this file. They're all the same. All of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're all the same files. They have exact same data. If you were to open this one, or if you open that one, they all exactly same data. The only one exception is this file here, the backup file. The backup file has the same data with a little bit different format, because it stores when it was stored, collect the timestamp, and there is that total backup data. The total backup data is different. This is only to write. It's only for you to view in the future. MT4 does not like the idea of you editing or changing or modifying these files. So if you want to use the file and do something with it, just make a copy of it, and then now you can use the copy any way you want. And if you look at this file here, that's a backup file, and that's a running file. Initially it would have these, but now the latest version here, it updates every time you have an update. It adds, it does not overwrite, it just adds a new section. And the latest was done here. It writes your account number, because you may have more than one account number and you want to know which account number this data belongs to. Then it puts the timestamp in GMT. Then it puts a little bit more description of, what was the original balance, what was the yesterday and today, and these are the numbers, if you recall what I just keyed in for the update. Previously, before I did the update, it was these numbers were just from the actual balance of the file, because I had zeros. So it has a timestamp. Anytime you do an update, it will the total backup will just keep adding. So you can go back on your historic information. Let's say I'm changing the chart to 15, or I'm changing it to H1, and I'm going back to M1. Technically, if all works, that file should have additional 3 sections. These would be the same, like this would be just it will overwrite the information on here. But this one, I'm gonna delete, that was the old. This one here should have 3 new section in it at the very end, because I updated like 3 times. It updated at 1936. Okay, it was within the same minute. I updated 3 times, that 3336. That was the last one we looked at. And then these are the last 3 sections, 3 updates. And you can see it just added another one and another one and another one. All of the other files will only have this information in them, without this writing, just the numbers. Just these numbers will be stored in all of the other files, except for the timestamp. They'll have these numbers. So if you were to go and open any of these numbers, I'm gonna copy it because I don't want to mess with it. If you open it, that's what you see. You will see these numbers, the latest numbers, and they will be overwritten every time there is an update. It will be updated at the end of the day, or the beginning of the new day, at the beginning of the new week, at the beginning of a new month, and so on. And it will be updated anytime you make an update or you start you close the file. If you close this file, let's say you close this and you close this too. Now if I were to go and look for them, they have all been updated, like this file, and I'm gonna copy this one too. Like this file would have the data, the latest data, because there has been no change. This file has added, this will only add to the bottom, there will only add new information. So I close the two files and I have these numbers here. So that's the latest update. That's the latest update. So it adds a new section anytime you it updates all of them, but on this file it just adds a new section and so on and so on. So you can go into this one and look forever for whatever you did, unless you deleted. These files are small, so you don't have to worry about really memory. You can run it for years and you may not get into one, few megabytes or less than a gigabyte or such stuff, because it's a very small files. So that's for the files. Now, how does it work? Let's say we load this, and I'm gonna leave it at 0 so it reads the original. And on the 5-minute chart, I'll do the same. And for the sake of exercise, I'm just gonna add even another chart. I'll add a 15-minute chart or an hour, whatever. And I'll add a new chart, and I'll just add JPY or whatever. A new chart, and I'll make that hourly for 15 minutes. It doesn't really make much difference. And I'm gonna load the same file into this one. It should read the same information on all of them. And like I said, if you were to go and update one of them, I'm gonna update yesterday, for example. Let's say yesterday was, I don't know, 4,900. So this number for yesterday has changed. This one has not. This one has not. Everything else should be the same. Within 1 minute, these two charts should sense that this has changed the files, and they will read the new files, and the data will on all three of them will be the same. And that's because of the delay. The delay I intentionally have. So one of them will update before the other one. I believe the M1 updates first, and then this one updates first. I'm not for sure, but they will update in a minute here. So within a minute. Now we'll check on the updates in a couple minutes. Let's just do trading. See, this has already updated and this has already updated. So they copied the changes that you made in one chart. And so I'm gonna close out this one. We don't need 3 charts. The only time you may have problems with them competing on reading the file if you have multiple charts on the same time frame. Let's say you have M1 and then you have another M1 and a third M1. I think the third M1 may have to compete with the other ones, and it may have a problem updating. Any one of you who's doing this, let's say if you are doing M1 on many different pairs and you track all of them, and you want to make sure that you have multiple, you may want to contact me and I can custom do something to take care of those multiples. That would mean technically I would have to add more data files, storage files, because I store the M1 for the 1 minute chart to read, the M5 for the 5 minute chart to read, so they don't compete on the same file. It's the same data, it's just because if it has the same file and both of them want to read it at the same time, what happens is you get an error. So I would have to add, this is generic and this is backup, so there's 4 different options for it to read from, and that's an update. That's even a 5th option. However, if you have an M1, it will try to go to the M1, and if it doesn't find the M1, it will go to the backup, and if the backup is busy, or if you have multiple M1s, then the 3rd or the 4th one will not have a chance to read it. So I can fix that or custom it for people who are using a ton of pairs trading at the same time, different pairs, at the same time frame. But for now, this is for the majority of us are just using M1, M5, maybe an hourly chart in addition, maybe a daily chart in addition, and they should all have enough or separation of seconds between them in order not to compete on the same file at the same time. Now let's do some trading. By the way, you could trade from this tab here. You don't have to trade from here. If this is closed, like, you can remove all of these. It's all the same information on here, and you can let's say you want to throw in a trade. Because we are at this level, it would be wise to buy unless it breaks here. So I'm just gonna buy one, or I'm just gonna buy, you can buy one here, buy one as a layer, and it will just buy one trade. Now it fell down, so it would be wise to sell actually, and let's say I'm gonna sell here 2 trades. If you keep this at 1, then basically this one and that one is the same. You could buy or sell here, or buy or sell at the layer, because it's a layer of 1. It's just 1 trade, and you can close this one. However, if you change the, let's say you change the volume in here, and you try to sell here 1, it will sell 0.05, because the changes on this tab does not affect the settings on this tab. This will read from this tab. So if you want to use the layers, you want to make sure that this tab on the same chart is set correctly for it to work correctly. Otherwise, if you're trying to change the volume on here and try to buy or sell on here, it may not be the same setting. Now you can close that one, open the layers on this one. If you were to buy here, it will buy the 0.09 because this was the setting on this chart. Oh, it's not the same as the setting on this chart. It doesn't affect it. So, be aware of that. So now when you have this running, you will see the current. I have two longs and they are losing. They are zero. That it changes here how much the longs are doing. I have three shorts which are -3, -5, and my total is -3. And look how far is the break-even line. It means it will have to go all the way down here to break at zero, because I have 3 sells and 4 and 2 buys. If I were to buy one here, the now I have technically 4 buys, because this is double the amount of the sells. So I have the volume is I'm gonna make him disappear. So I have 3 buys. I need to sell one on 0.09 in order to have this even number, and I'm gonna sell one here. Let's see if that works. So now I have a sell and a buy. What's the volume? Okay, I have 4 shorts at 0.24. I need to buy one more at 0.19, at 0.5. Okay, 0.24, 0.24, and there you go. Your green line is gone because they are equal. You get profit and loss in each one of them, the exact opposite. You can run this forever. You're never gonna bring that to zero because there is no anomaly. There's no movement on either direction. You're just static. So there is none. It doesn't show anything unless you start, let's say you close one. I'm going to close this one. Now the green line is showing because now I have an anomaly. Now I have a difference between the two, and that difference generates where the location of this line is going to be. So otherwise at zero, this line has no solution. It's just like a singular system. And anytime you close or change that zero, that break-even line changes. Like if you wanted the break line to go a little bit higher, you need to I would think you'd need to sell more. Let's say I'm just gonna go aggressive. I'm gonna sell 5. If I were to sell 5, I would expect this line to go higher. Yeah, there it is. So you only need it to go down here to close out all of them at break even, and that's where you close all the trades. Now close all trades. It will close all trades on this pair, like on US Euro USD. If you have other charts open with different, it will not touch them. Okay. So for me to keep this line moving, at this support, let's say I'm gonna throw some more sells, and so now I only need to go only to this line to break even, and I can close the longs, and it might even do a better job with the line. I closed all the longs. I could have, so now I only need to reach here for this to be zero. And if you notice, this is how much we made today, and this is how much we closed at profit. This is how much money in the bank. We are still $17 negative from where we started. However, today we took this much money. into the bank, and that changes, of course, if you close some more. Now there's not much here. There's not much profit to do. Anything will wait. Now you could, if this breaks and you feel like you wanna buy it, it would change the location of the line, which I already said is duplicate. Anyways, what I was gonna say, there's another tab here for close that is new. It will close all the longs or all the shorts that have a take profit set. It will not close the ones that are open, which means the take profit is 0. If you want to keep him at, there's no take profit here, there's stop losses. And it will only close the ones, let's say I take this sell here and I move it to this point. Now it has a take profit number, and if I were to close all the shorts, partial shorts, this one trade will be closed and the rest of the trades will remain. It closed that one trade, it will not touch the other ones. I am going to modify this one in the next update to only close the ones that are not safe, that are not safe, which means if you have a winning trade and it's making money, and let's say this is the stop loss of this trade, is so tight, and if that stop loss were like, if it goes down and I can place that stop loss somewhere where I'm making a little bit money but I'm not making too much money, and I want to keep it open, even if I set a value to it, I will make that this will not touch it. We'll leave those open because you intended for it to be safe. And it has a stop loss with a little bit, and you want it to run overnight or whatever, or for how many other days you want it to run, it will not touch that line. Right now it's not doing that, but this is in the future updates I will make so that these safe trades remain unless you close them manually or they reach their target. So that's one update I'm gonna do. So right now we are in profit. This is not showing it because we did not collect any money. So if we close some of them, then this number will increase. This number will increase. And if I were to close out of this, and put it back on, it will still remember the numbers. It will come back with the exact same numbers as this one is. It will be the same number. If you close this, same thing. If you do any changes, if you update the numbers, they should update, like I said, within a minute of one another. This is for the files. I'm gonna share something with the flip. This is not something you want to do, the flip longs and shorts, unless you are in profit. Let's say you are in profit and it's reaching a resistance or support line, and you would think it's gonna change directions, and you are in profit and you want to close them and open them in the other direction. You can do that. You can flip them. This is just a short once I'm in profit here, I can do that. I don't want, okay, now I am in profit, and let's say I want to keep that profit and I want to flip. No, I'm not going to flip nothing here because I'm still going on. If we were like reaching this point, or if you wanted to recycle them, let's say you thought they might just go back up and you want to recycle, you just flip the shorts. What it does, it takes the profit on the shorts and will reverse and put them in longs. So now you have banked in your profit, and you don't have any shorts anymore, you have longs. And if you have the comment section here open, like if you were to right click and highlight the comment section, you can see that these have been flipped. They were purchased as sell, but now they are flipped. And if I were to say, oops, I made a mistake, it went up, made a little bit of money, now I say, no, I think it's gonna come down, and I want to flip the longs. Ah, okay. It just went the other way. I was gonna flip when it had money on it, not that loss. So I gave back some of the money I made. Now they are shorts again, and you see flip twice here. It says that you flipped them twice, and if you flip them 10 times, you will get that flip thing comment in here, because you, this way you know what happened, where did this come from, and why is this one, and so on. So this is basically most of the updates I made in the past couple of weeks. Major update was the file handling and storing the historic data, and also managing so they don't compete and they don't fight over the same file, and hopefully when you know, hopefully that, you know, that has fixed for the majority of the use. If you don't have too many charts open, you shouldn't have a problem with that. What else I wanted to say? Okay, we know what these are. That's basically it. If you don't know how to load the file, you just have to download it into your if you download the file, all you have to do, and I'm gonna leave this link to this location where the at the drive location that David has set. This is the file, the exe file. You just click and download, and if you go into your file explorer and on the download section, you will see that I have downloaded this file already once, so it's right there. You copy that file and you go on your trading MP4, open the data file, yes, and save it here inside of experts folder, and you can go here to experts and say refresh if it doesn't show up, and there it is. I will leave the link below the video. This is it for now. It's getting long enough. Thanks.